I got fingers on my lips. Toys that I'm touching, I don't want to put them down. Instead, I want to talk about them. Yes, fresh. Smell the plastic that I crave. I want to shop. I can be having Bruce Banner. I'm Dr. Rubber Band on Bruce Jenner. And you can call me after dinner. We can talk comic books, but we're here to talk toys. Be proud, make noise.
Oh, hey. I was swinging around on this spooky Samhain. Thought I'd stop in and see my good pal Dylan. You guys haven't seen him around, have you? Weird. I heard about his Toy Lips channel and wanted to show some spider love. And, look at all this stuff. You know, he's got a whole wall of comic books over here. Whole bunch of them about me. Kinda creepy. I want to open one of these toys. You don't think he'd mind, do you? Nah, that Dylan. He's a real class act. Great guy. How about this one? Kinda gives me some costume ideas. I was thinking maybe the Tooth Fairy? I'm kidding. But Sony's got so many movies coming out set in the Spider-Man universe that don't involve Spider-Man. I bet they've got one about the Tooth Fairy. Happy Halloween from your friendly neighborhood figure fister. Oh, this is weird. Swinging in for a closer look, we can see our hero on this retro carded packaging styled just as it was nearly 30 years ago, back in the classic Toy Biz days. And in fact, I don't think this figure had been produced since then. The cards do look great. They are fairly simple, though. We have a front and a back. And a tearing in we will go. Scalpel. I'm a Spider-Man, not a surgeon. Extracted from the card. Tossed aside. Clamshell. Fist. Web effect. Get out of there. And look at that. Oh, and it falls away. Anyone? Anyone? Scott? Anyone? Out of the packaging, you can see that he is super nice. And this was a super fun 90s affectation cooked up by Mr. Eric Larson of Image Comics and Savage Dragon fame. Yes. Nearly done in by Solo, he was rescued and upgraded against his will. But he used these upgrades to track and take down the Sinister Six and thrill us all with his fabulous adventures. Looks to be on the Sunfire body, so it's got really solid articulation, just a step down from the brand new highly desirable Spider-Man. He does have the nice 90s bug eyes. Digging on that. And all the little detail here, from the headband to the eyepiece to the stitches, sculpted really nicely. But they missed the mark with the paint, and they could have given us a little extra on the stitches. Sadly, you can see the webbing pattern is a little offset in places. But the color choices really pop. Nice and bright. It does look like a different red in some places, and maybe that's just the difference on what things are sculpted in versus what they are painted over with. He does have a complete cybernetic arm over here. And this nice samurai style shoulder pauldron. Sick fist, Kit Fisto, utility belt. Nice and yellow nod to somebody. Big ugly plug on the back. And not the pin lips that you would like. So it matches on the one side, but not on the other. On this side, it's a classic case of it not mattering so much. Spider, nice and big, but perfectly reasonable. Bandages on the leg. This is just set in there, so you just kind of shove it up and it stays. Sadly, we have the printed numbers on the inner thigh, but working our way down, this is nice and clean, the paint here. It looks like the thickness varies, though. That's a bit odd of the lines. I mean, I'm sure you can see for yourself. Pins on the legs, as this is a fairly recent-ish release figure, but it's on the cusp of moving to the pinless world and upgraded Spider-Man body. Not at all unhappy with the design, though. He really stands out. And getting my webbed mitts on his webbed fits. The articulation on this is fairly stellar. We have the head on a ball joint with a nice deep cut so that he can look all the way back for when he's, flying. Right. But yeah, all the web swinging and various twisting and dynamic posing performed by yours truly can be fairly well replicated in toy form with this body. Looks down a great amount, side and side, good bit of tilt. Shoulders, balls on butterfly joints, so you can get way in there. Coming all the way back for Mama No! But these, of course, will spin all the way around. That pauldron is stuck to the shoulder. And I wouldn't say in no way inhibits. You could probably jack that up far enough to tear it right off of there. So be aware of that. And as bulky as this shoulder is with all the canisters or whatever's happening there, I'd maybe you could turn that all the way around. It's great. It's great. Double jointed elbows on both sides. Machine side reaches all the way up there. Spider side. Yeah, how about that reference? Reaches all the way up here. Catches a bit of the costume that overhangs my stubby sausage fingers. Wrists on a hinge. And they rotate all the way around. And they both hinge the same direction. Coming down here, we have a nice ab crunch. Leaning forward, leaning backward. You can see they've detailed the webbing all the way up in there, so you're not going to lose that. That's great. Waist twist. Thighs on ball joints here with that uppercut. You're going to be able to get that leg pretty far forward. Not terribly far back, straight back anyway. Out to the side really nicely. And that, of course, cut rotates all the way around. You're going to be losing control of this all the time. Better to just let it go until you find your pose, right? Double jointed knee comes all the way up here. And we have that precious calf cut. Hinge on the foot. Come all the way out here for these Weasley spider footing poses. And it does have that oh-so-sweet rocker. Rocks all the way up and possibly up the sides like that. Gotta love that. Pretty solid. Wish they had made it on that new Spider-Man body. This one was probably already coming out before. I can't remember. Hard to say. And there that goes. We'll let it. You know what I mean? Look, he can all come under here. Trick shots and so forth. So, you got the big eyes showing off the 90s action. Eric Larson at the time. People will attribute Todd McFarlane with the extra Weasleyness, but they are both equally prolific and proficient at that. And now, thanks to the modern Marvel Legends articulation, so are the toys. Revoltex, these are not, but man, do they look great. The distant future. For accessories, this figure comes with a strand of webbing and one swappable fist hand for the Flesh Man. Really, I come with a whole host of cybernetic accessories. That's the whole point of the figure here, right? Got this nice arm and an eyepiece and utility belt. Eat your heart out, Batman. But for practical purposes, we do get another one of these. You can't really hold it, but you can mash it over the fist. Pick a fist, any fist. And another one of these fists that we have seen that we'll just wrestle on right here. Have a fist in your future. Looking solid. For size of spider, you have 6 3/8 of inch. For comparison, we have 2 other type of spider. We have the Marvel Legend, highly articulated and highly desirable Spider-Man. And on the right, we have the Spider UK. 2 type of available buck for Spider-Man. Up next, we have 2 very different men, but not too difficult to control. On the left, we have Quentin Beck, the illusionist known as Mysterio. And on the right, Max Dillon, better known as Electro. And now we have Vulture and Octopus. One an old fool, and another one of my greatest foes. A man of truly incomparable intellect and vision. But perhaps in need of a wardrobe upgrade, yeah? Rhino and Minx. To illustrate the inequities of size, we must sample a greater range. We have the steel-skinned Rhino and the svelte Siren Shriek. But as always, to set the standard, we feature the Marvel Legends To Emo for Pizza Spider-Man and the Marvel Legends Morning Coffee Mostly Bucky Cap Deadpool. Adult if ever I have known one. And now this exercise has become trite and trivial, far beneath one such as I. But I am told you need to wait. You have to wait. Wait. The NECA Ninja Turtles, cartoon Smashed Foot Soldier, and the Halo Mark V Spartan, it comes in white. It comes in weight. You need to wait. Did I sound different for a minute? That's mildly disconcerting. Anyway, I am definitely happy with this rendition of, well, me, and even more so to finally have it out of the package. The colors pop. It definitely looks like that 90s iteration, and I think that spider is even just what Mr. Larson was drawing at the time. All big and gangly, heavy line work. Heavy line work and fat feet. And robot parts, man. Nothing screams 90s like robot parts. And we got that bandage back on the leg. I forgot for a minute there, but that's what it is. Why don't you just glue the thing on there, man? What the hell is wrong with you guys? I wish this was on the new Spider-Man body, but like I said before, I think this was probably in the works or even maybe fully released before that other Spider-Man. I'm not sure. I came across it later, Target exclusives and all that nonsense. It's hard to ding it for that, though. I would say pinless joints would bring it up a notch, or at least the painting of the proper colors on either side, but it would be something weird you'd have to do after the fact. Little details that are missing on the stitching and a little bit of paint slop, which isn't going to be consistent across all figures. You know, your mileage may vary. Overall, I would give this figure a 4 out of 5. I would accept some extra hands. But otherwise, double jointed elbows, knees, all manner of cuts and butterfly joints on the thing. This is a great figure. This really is, and Hasbro has straight been hammering us with all this 90s stuff. We're on the, 30-ish year anniversary, depending on what year you're picking, so. I mean, if they made a bunch of toys of you, wouldn't you want to run them all down like some sick fetishist? Is it just me? And thank you guys so much for being here. Leave a like, and I know Dylan would appreciate the support. He works really hard. Thanks for bearing with me. I'll catch you guys on the web. Zing! You're fired. What's up, Spider-Man? Mad cool of you to drop by.
Hey, bro! Looking sick!
Henry Solo.
0000001 000000110 000000111 000001111. Oh, 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 one.